Alice Ernestine Prin, nicknamed Queen of Montparnasse, and often known as Kiki de Montparnasse, was a French artist, model, nightclub singer, actress, memoirist, and painter. She flourished in, and helped define, the liberated culture of Paris in the 1920s. Early life. Alice Prin was born in Châtillon-sur-Seine, Côte d'Or. An illegitimate child, she was raised in abject poverty by her grandmother. At age 12, she was sent to live with her mother in Paris in order to find work. She first worked in shops and bakeries, but by the age of 14, she was posing nude for sculptors, which created discord with her mother. Notoriety begins. Adopting a single name, Kiki, she became a fixture in the Montparnasse social scene and a popular artist model, posing for dozens of artists, including Haim Soutine, Julian Mandel, Suguharu Fujita, Constant Dietrich, Francis Picabia, Jean Cocteau, Arnaud Breker, Alexander Calder, Picrogue, Hermine David, Pablo Gargalo, Mayo, and Tono Salazar. Moise Kisling painted a portrait of Kiki titled New Assis, one of his best known. Her companion for most of the 1920s was Man Ray, who made hundreds of portraits of her. She is the subject of some of his best-known images, including the notable surrealist image La Violente Ingress and Noire Blanche. She appeared in 9 short and often experimental films, including Fernand Léger's Ballet Mécanique without any credit. Artwork and autobiography. A painter in her own right. In 1927, Prin had a sold-out exhibition of her paintings at the Galerie Osaka du Printemps in Paris. Signing her work with her chosen single name, Kiki, she usually noted the year. Her drawings and paintings comprise portraits, self-portraits, social activities, fanciful animals, and dreamy landscapes composed in a light, slightly uneven, expressionist style that is a reflection of her easygoing manner and boundless optimism. Her autobiography was published in 1929 as Kiki's Memoirs, with Ernest Hemingway and Suguharu Fujita providing introductions. In 1930 the book was translated by Samuel Putnam and published in Manhattan by Black Mannequin Press, but it was immediately banned by the United States government. A copy of the first U.S. edition was held in the section for banned books in the New York Public Library through the 1970s. However, the book had been reprinted under the title The Education of a Young Model throughout the 1950s and 1960s. These editions were mainly put out by Samuel Roth. Taking advantage of the fact that the banning of the book meant it did not receive copyright protection in the U.S., Roth put out a series of supposedly copyrighted editions which altered the text and added illustrations, line drawings and photographs, which were not by Prin. Editions published in and after 1955 include an extra 10 chapters supposedly written by Prin 23 years after the original book, including a visit to New York where she meets with Samuel Roth and Ernest Hemingway. None of this was true. The original autobiography finally saw a new translation and publication in 1996. Her music hall performances in Black Hose and Garters included crowd-pleasing risque songs, which were uninhibited, yet inoffensive. For a few years during the 1930s, she owned a Montparnasse cabaret, which she named Chez Kiki, a symbol of bohemian and creative Paris. At age of 28 she was declared the Queen of Montparnasse. Even during difficult times, she maintained her positive attitude, saying, "All I need is an onion, a bit of bread, and a bottle of red wine, and I will always find somebody to offer me that." She left Paris to avoid the occupying German army during World War II, which entered the city in June 1940. She did not return to live in the city immediately after the war. Death and legacy. Prin died in 1953 after collapsing outside her flat in Montparnasse, at the age of 51, apparently of complications of alcoholism or drug dependence. A large crowd of artists and fans attended her Paris funeral and followed the procession to her interment in the Cimetière du Montparnasse. Her tomb identifies her as Kiki, 1901–1953, singer, actress, painter, Queen of Montparnasse. Suguharu Fujita has said that, with Kiki, the glorious days of Montparnasse were buried forever. Long after her death, Prin remains the embodiment of the outspokenness, audacity, and creativity that marked that period of life in Montparnasse. In 1989, biographers Billy Clover and Julie Martin called her one of the century's first truly independent women. In her honor, a daylily has been named Kiki de Montparnasse. Kiki was featured in a 3-page obituary in Life magazine in the 29th of June 1953 edition. Filmography: 1923, L'Inhumaine by Marcel Lebier. 1923, Le Retour à la Raison by Man Ray, short film. 1923, Ballet Mécanique by Fernand Léger, short film. 1923, Intrac by René Clair, short film. 1923, La Galerie des Monstres by Jacques Catelain. 1926, Emak Bakia by Man Ray, short film. 1928, Le Retour de Mer by Man Ray. 1928, Paris Express or Souvenirs de Paris by Pierre Prévost et Marcel Domel, short film. 1930, Le Capitaine Journe by Anders Wilhelm Sandberg. 1933, Cette vie canine by Anatoly Litvak.